Okay guys, it's time to design our persuasive speech. Before you do so, you need to choose a topic, and there are some conditions. First, think of something that you can actually try to convince people to do. That's what we call affirmative action. For example, don't tell people not to smoke, or don't tell people not to drink alcohol. Tell people to lead a healthy life. Tell people to do exercise. Tell people to drink more water, or to eat more fruits and vegetables. Instead of going to the no, go to the affirmative action in your speech. Another condition is that your topic has to be relevant for young audiences. And yes, I know that some of you might actually be interested in talking about advanced topics regarding politics or science. And you can choose a topic about politics or science. Just make sure you tone it down to young audiences. People who are gonna listen to your speech are gonna be your classmates, are gonna be your peers. So you wanna make sure that they understand what you're trying to say. So keep that in mind. Your audiences are young people. Your audience is young people. Sources. Now it's time to do some research. It is important that the topic you choose also can be researched and you can enjoy doing that research. I'm talking about magazines, newspapers, testimonies, quotes by leading scientists, people who can support your cause and that can be quoted, articles, news reports that can be quoted. You don't need to do an extensive research. This is just a 3-minute, 4-minute speech, okay? Very important to tell you, please do not take your Spanish speech and recycle it. It doesn't necessarily fit our purpose. I hope you learn a lot in your Spanish class, and I hope you feel now more confident and prepared to deliver a speech. Create your own speech for the English class, please. And finally, and it's also connected to everything else, choose something that you're really and honestly interested in. You can't fake passion. So if you really choose something you're passionate about, your audience is going to appreciate that. You will be able to transmit that. And remember, passion is contagious. If you choose something just because you already have some research about it, because you have an old speech that you presented 7 years ago and you just want to reuse the same thing, well, first of all, you don't have many problems during the process of preparation that I can talk about later. But also, you're not going to be authentically happy about it. So please choose something that you're really interested in and that you can enjoy talking about to other people. Here, there is a list of possible topics. Of course, there are many more. Talk to your teacher if you have another topic in your mind before you make a decision. If you make a decision on a topic before consulting your teacher, you're gonna start working on it, and if for some reason that topic is not the best, you will have to start over. So if you have a topic in mind, talk to your teacher so that you can make a decision on the best approach, okay, for your speech. In a nutshell, keep this in mind. Your persuasive speech should find a relevant social, environmental, political, economic, or ethical problem and present a solution to it, calling the audience to action. Very important, calling the audience to action. In a moment, we're going to study the 5 steps to prepare your speech, and the call to action, the 5th step, is going to be very, very important. If you can call your audience to action, then you have a very good speech. You close the circle beautifully. If you can't call your audience to action, then you probably need to rethink your whole approach. We'll talk about that in just a second. So these are the 5 steps that you need to follow whenever preparing a speech. I strongly recommend you to memorize these 5 words: attention, need, satisfy, visualization, and action. If you remember the 5-paragraph structure, we can make an analogy. For example, the attention step is the introduction. Normally you will have a hook and your thesis statement right there in the introduction. The attention step will probably be a paragraph long. Steps 2, 3, and 4 are like the 3 main ideas. However, there's a little difference that I'll explain in a moment. But to begin with, that's a good way we can remember these 3 steps. These 3 steps as the 3 main ideas: need, satisfy, and visualization. Step 5, action, could be the conclusion. It is the conclusion. It is also just one paragraph long, and here is where not only you summarize your speech and your main ideas and your thesis, but also you call to action. You tell people what they can do to support your cause, to support the issue that you presented. Steps 2, 3, and 4 are more than one paragraph long. They are at least 2 paragraphs long each so that they can be properly developed. Let me explain to you these 5 steps with different words that you can easily remember. The attention step can be paraphrased in these words. Hey, you have a problem. It is a way to make people turn around and look at you, because you will be addressing something that they might very possibly also be very interested in, and they will feel concerned. So that's the first step. Create a little bit of concern, even a little bit of fear, if you will, just to get people's attention. Step 2, let me explain the problem. So step 1, there's a problem. Step 2, and the problem consists in the following. Step 3, here you release the tension a little bit. People are now listening to you. You got their attention. You're explaining a problem. People are really concerned now. Step 3, there's a solution. Luckily or fortunately, there's a solution and I have it for you. Now you are relieving the tension. People are gonna be relieved. People are gonna be happy to listen that there's a solution, and they will want to know. They will be curious. What's the solution? Step 4, after you present your solution in step 3, and step 4, the future. This is what will happen if you do what I say, if you follow my advice, my suggestions. A positive future, a bright scenario. But you can also create fear again. If you don't do what I say, if you don't follow my advice, this will be the consequences. So in step 4, you play with the future, you play with scenarios, the good things, the bad things that might happen if you do or if you don't do what I say. That's why, as you can see, steps 2, 3, and 4 require several paragraphs. Step 5. After you have raised awareness and people are now completely interested in your issue and they are involved and they are connected with you, you can give them specific things that they can do, things that a citizen can do, things that anyone in the audience right after the speech is over can go and do. So in step 5, please avoid generalizations such as be aware of this, be conscious about this, respect diversity. That is incredibly vague and ambiguous. What can I actually do tomorrow, right after I listen to your speech? So if we go back to some of the topics in the beginning, you can say, so every Sunday take your bicycle and go to Constituyentes. They close the street and you can enjoy a bike ride with your family. Specific things to do. If you're concerned about the problems with immigration in the world, well, there is a serious problem of immigration from Central America and Mexico. Go to the Casa del Inmigrante. I'm sure they will be happy if you take some blankets, some jackets, some food. So it's not just raising awareness or being aware about something. Oh yes, I know there's a problem in Guatemala. I'm so sad about it. No, it's like you explain the issue, you talk about it. What can you do now? And that's what you need to tell your audience in step 5. Stand up and do something. These 5 steps are called the Monroe's Motivated Sequence, which basically is intended to awaken emotion on people for change. So go through the PowerPoint presentation that is being used in this video so that you can see more specific details and advice on what to do on each of the following steps. Okay, attention, need, satisfy, visualization, and action. Remember those 5 words. So once you have your topic ready, once you're absolutely sure about what you're going to talk about, get started with your outline. Remember to follow the 5 steps, and only after your outline has been approved by your teacher, then you can use those ideas and keywords to write your full final speech. Okay? Good luck.